Um, all right, everybody, thank you so much for being here. Today we're going to be going over our rigor drop off. So if you guys can take a look at the table report that I have in front of you, I want you guys to take a minute to look at specifically the end of course exams, which I highlighted for you, our 2025 scores. So if we look at our English 1, we have 63% approaching, but only 8% mastering. One thing I do want to keep in mind for you guys is it's a culmination of scores. So the 63% approaching includes the students that mastered. So between each level, it just drops off. And of course, English 2, for the 2025 school year, it's 66% masters and only 3%, 66% approaches and 3% masters. For the end of course algebra exam, 73% approaches, 24% masters, which is, that's our strongest master's level. And then biology is 82% approaches, 6% masters, and then US history is 94% approaches, 20% masters. And then one really important one that I think we need to focus on is our SAT and ACT scores. This is looking at like college readiness. So it's important that our kids are doing a lot better than what they have. But 96% are approaching that grade level, which is, it's okay. We should be at 100%, but 0% master the SAT, which takes away, scholarship opportunities for our students. So I've created a visual of what we just went over as well. So if you look at the graph on the screen, the blue is our English 1. So you can see the difference between approaches and masters. The orange is the English 2, green is algebra, red is biology, purple is US history, and then the brown is the SAT or ACT. Again, this is just a measurement from the 2025, and I think for the SAT, I included 2024 and 2025 school year in this graph. So we're going to look at 4 different observation documents today. And I'm going to have you guys identify rigor language within them. So I was going to do groups, but it's going to be one per person. So these are different observation forms from different states or districts. So this one. So the first one I think I gave to Mr. Fitz. This one is, I think, from like Arizona, and he's going to be looking at the classroom visit instructional observation protocol and highlighting what stands out to him to up the rigor in the classroom. So upping the rigor looks like if 100% of your students are getting a question correct, what do you do to follow up to make sure that those students are actually feeling challenged? And what are we going to do to take those kids from approaches to masters? And that's what we're going to be like, again, synthesizing using these various documents. All right, so Miss J. Jones, you got the regular observation spot form. So those are both yours. So Miss J. Jones is going to be looking at what we're using now in the classroom, which I can tell you, there's only one part of the spot form that I think addresses what the rigor is looking like. And for my like SPED people, right, your monitoring and adjusting is part of that. We're not just monitoring and adjusting and scaffolding down, we're monitoring and adjusting and scaffolding up as well. Document 3, I think Mr. Woodley has this one. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this, but this is the classic like Texas T-test document. This is the document that the rest of Texas uses. We use the spot form at HIC, but the rest of Texas uses the classic T-test document. And then Miss C. Jones has the Utah Classroom Observation Tool. So I have gone through and pre-highlighted where I think you will find the verbiage for rigor, but I encourage you to read the document in its entirety. So does everybody know what we're doing? Okay, we're going through the document that I provided for you, and you are looking for verbiage that evaluates rigor in the classroom. Yes?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So I'm going to give you guys 3 minutes to do that. About a minute and a half left. You should be halfway through your document. You guys have more time? Are we good? All right. So I know I put on a note card, but you can write it on the document itself. Identify 2 components of the observation document that you could implement in your classroom to increase instructional rigor, and explain how these practices could lead to improved STAR and SAT performances. You can do it on note card if you want, or on the document, don't care. But I'm gonna knock it down to 3 minutes, and I will adjust if you. Alrighty. Mr. Phipps, will you tell me what you wrote?
Yes, I used teacher ask questions to encourage students to talk. And also I used students are engaged in real world activities that are interesting. And I feel like these could help with STAR scores and SAT scores by helping kids retain information.
Yes. Okay, so we're good.
It's using program questions to clarify and elaborate learning and providing opportunities to use different types of thinking. That way, number one, you can address all your learners. So you can understand the misconceptions that they have about the learning, and also for your kids who need to be challenged in a home level class, you providing them different opportunities to reveal their thinking, and that should help them.
Yes, Miss J. Jones?
One component is stamping key points. Once a skill is stamped, students can apply that same skill to a real world situation to just solidify the skill that they just learned in one situation. And I think that stretches their learning. And then a second component that I used was annotations when they read. So they can, again, I think applying it to real world situations helps a lot, but
In their annotations.
yeah, in their annotations, they can also connect it to a real world situation,
Very good.
Okay, for mine, I put, using, where is it? Using. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I lost it where I had, okay, no, that's not it. Anyways, it was something along the lines of using relatable content to, that students can relate to. And I put that because I feel like when you use relatable content, it helps one with the engagement piece, for the students, and that way you can effectively teach them the skills. The other one I have was, intentional opportunities are provided for modeled, supported, and independent practice of concepts. I've referenced I do, we do, you do is kind of like a scaffold up and a gradual release from showing them, guiding them to letting them do it on their own, which I feel will help them with STAR, give them that practice, be able to effectively do questions on STAR.
Awesome. Okay, so our last step that we're going to do is we're going to synthesize each document. So Mr. Phipps, what were the two things that you pulled from your document to create the conclusion that you came to?
The ask questions to encourage students to talk, and students were engaged in real world activities that are interesting.
Okay, Mr. Woodley, what were your two?
Using program questions to clarify and elaborate learning.
Elaborate?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And provide opportunities to use different types of thinking.
Did it specify the different opportunities?
Yes, analytical, practical, creative, and research based.
Can you repeat that?
Analytical,
Mhm.
practical,
Mhm.
creative, and research based.
Ms. Jones, what were your two? Or J. Jones?
stamping key points
Uh-huh.
and using that skill that was just stamped in a real world situation, in another situation besides the one in class, to just solidify that they have that skill. And then annotating reading for a specific purpose. And again, applying that to a,
Real world.
yeah, somehow, again, just, yeah.
J. Jones?
All right, so first one was intentional opportunities are provided for model, supported, and independent practice of concepts.
Uh-huh.
And then the second one was clear connection to how a lesson, task, or project is relevant to students now or in the future.
Thank you. All right, y'all. I hope that you learned something today.
Sure do.